I need to tell you something, and I need you to really sit with it. That thing you're chasing, the money, the promotion, the bigger house, the better body, the respect, the approval, whatever it is you believe is finally going to make your life feel complete. It is not going to give you what you think it will. My name is Leroy. I'm 85 years old, and I spent more than 50 years of my life chasing things that were never going to fill the emptiness I was carrying inside me. More than 50 years. That is a long time to spend running after the wrong thing. So sit with me for a moment, because what took me half a lifetime to understand, I'm going to try to give to you right now. And maybe if you listen closely, you won't lose as many years as I did. This is what we all do. We keep making these little promises to ourselves. I'll be happy when I get the promotion. I'll be happy when I buy the house. I'll be happy when I pay off the debt. I'll be happy when I retire. I'll be happy when people finally respect me. I lived by those words for most of my life. My whole life, if I'm being honest. And do you know what happened? I got the promotion, I paid off the house, I retired. People respected me, I suppose. At 85, you stop trying so hard to keep score. But here is the part nobody tells you. When you finally get the thing, another thing shows up. Always. The finish line keeps moving. You think you're close, and then you look up and it's somehow farther away than before. I spent decades chasing a finish line that was never really there. Let me tell you something about myself that I'm not proud of. I grew up poor. Not starving poor, but poor enough to feel it every day. My father worked with his hands his whole life. Came home tired every night. Shoulders heavy, hands worn down, body carrying the cost of hard work. And still, people looked at him like he didn't matter. Like he was ordinary in the worst way. Like his life carried no weight. I saw that as a boy. I must have been 10 or 11. And something inside me made a decision. That is not going to be me. I'm going to be somebody. I'm going to make sure people respect my name. So I worked. Lord, I worked 60 hours some weeks, 70 in others. I missed dinners, missed games, missed conversations, missed my children growing up right in front of me, but I told myself it was worth it. I was building something. I was becoming someone. By my early 50s, I had made it. Good title, good office, good money. People stood a little straighter around me. They called me sir. And when I finally got there, do you know what I felt? Emptiness. Not complete emptiness, no, but something close to it. Like I'd climbed to the top of a mountain I'd been chasing my whole life, only to find there was nothing waiting for me up there. No peace, no lasting satisfaction, just another hill in the distance. I remember sitting alone one day, looking out the window and thinking, so this is it. This is what I gave my life to. And the truth is, it took me many more years to understand why it felt so hollow. I was a slow learner. Maybe most of us are. But here is what I finally came to see. I was never really chasing money. I was never really chasing titles. I was not even chasing respect, not in the deepest sense. I was chasing a feeling. I wanted to feel like I was enough, like I mattered, like I belonged in this world. That is what I was truly after. And I believed that if I just achieved enough, earned enough, climbed high enough, I would finally feel it. But life does not work that way. A title cannot give you worth. A paycheck cannot give you peace. Other people's praise cannot make you whole. That feeling, the feeling of being enough. I could have given that to myself long before I ever reached the top of anything. I did not need permission. I did not need applause. I did not need to earn what was already mine. I needed to decide. Decide that I mattered. Decide that I was worthy. Decide that I was enough, exactly as I was. I could have done that at 25. I started learning it in my 70s. That is decades spent trying to earn something that was never missing. The same mistake followed me into my marriage. Different shape, same wound. I thought if I provided enough, if I gave my wife the house, the cars, the comfort, the security, then she would be happy. Then we would be happy. That was what a man was supposed to do, wasn't it? Provide. So that is what I did. I provided. I worked and worked and worked to provide. But do you know what my wife truly wanted from me? She wanted me, not just my effort, not just my money, not just the roof over our heads. She wanted my presence, my attention, my eyes on her when she was speaking, my heart in the room. And too often I was somewhere else, at work, thinking about work, worried about work, all too tired from work to give anyone the best of me. We nearly lost each other because of that. And it was not because I had failed to provide. It was because I had failed to be present. Even when I was home, part of me was gone. I still remember something she told me, clear as day. She said, "Leroy, I do not need more money. I need you. I need you to see me. I need you to hear me. I need you to be here with me." And back then, I did not fully understand what she meant. I thought I was doing my part. I was paying the bills, keeping food on the table, making sure we were secure. I thought that was enough. It wasn't. It took me a long time to understand the difference between taking care of someone and truly being with someone. Those are not the same thing, not even close. I'm 85 now. Most of my friends are around my age. Some a little older, some a little younger. A few have already passed on. And I have noticed something over the years. The miserable ones are still chasing, still comparing, still measuring their lives against everyone else's, still keeping score. I have a friend in his 80s who is still bothered by what his neighbor has, still looking across the fence, still deciding his worth by somebody else's life, and he is miserable, absolutely miserable. I know another person who spends every conversation talking about what is missing, what hurts, what did not happen, what should have been different. Nothing is enough for her. Nothing satisfies her. She has been unhappy as long as I have known her, and unless something changes inside her, she will probably stay that way, because she is still waiting for something outside of her to finally make her feel okay inside. But then I know other people too, and these are the ones who seem to have found something real. They have a quietness about them, a lightness, a peace. They're not trying to prove anything anymore. They're not keeping score. They're not trying to outdo anyone. They're simply here, present, interested in life, still able to enjoy what is right in front of them. I knew a man like that. Did not have much. Small place, limited income, body not what it used to be. But he woke up grateful. He paid attention to small things. He kept learning, kept asking questions, kept noticing life. And one day he told me, "Leroy, I spent most of my life trying to become somebody. Now I'm just trying to be here. And this is better." That stayed with me. Because that is the difference. It is not money, it is not status, it is not even comfort. It is whether you have made peace with yourself, whether you'll stop chasing and started living. You want to know what real freedom feels like? I'll tell you. It is not having a pile of money. I know people with money who are trapped in their own minds, worried all the time, unable to enjoy a thing they own. Real freedom is quieter than that. It is when the things that used to disturb you no longer have power over you. When somebody says something ugly and it does not stay in your spirit all day, when you no longer need everyone to approve of you, when you can look in the mirror, see an 85-year-old man looking back at you and say, "That is me, and I am at peace with that." Real freedom is not needing something outside of you to make you feel settled inside of you. And that truth takes most people a lifetime to understand. Some never understand it at all. Some leave this world still chasing, still waiting, still convinced happiness is waiting around the next corner. Now here is the trap, and I want you to hear this clearly. You think the next thing is finally going to satisfy you. It won't. Not for long. There is always another thing. I remember reaching certain milestones and thinking, now I'll finally relax. But my mind would just find something new to worry about. If it wasn't money, it was health. If it wasn't health, it was the future. If it wasn't the future, it was some other fear waiting in the shadows. The fear did not disappear when life improved. It simply found a new place to attach itself. And that is when I learned something I wish I had learned much earlier. Fear does not leave because your circumstances get better. Fear leaves when you stop letting it lead your life, when you change, when you decide that even now, even in uncertainty, even with unfinished things, you are still okay. That is inner work. No amount of money can do that for you. No achievement can do that for you. No relationship can do that for you. That is work you have to do within yourself. Everything I thought I wanted, the title, the money, the respect, the security, I did not truly want those things. What I wanted was to feel safe, to feel worthy, to feel loved, and I spent years looking for those feelings in places that could never give them to me. I looked for them in my job, in what I owned, in what people thought of me. But safety, worth, and love are not trophies the world hands out. They are truths you learn to accept. I did not need to earn them. I needed to receive them, to accept that I was already enough, already worthy, already deserving of love. I know that sounds simple, but simple does not mean easy. It took me more than 50 years to truly understand that. And to be honest with you, I am still learning. At 85 years old, I am still practicing what it means to live from that place. When you are young, you think happiness is waiting at the finish line. I believe that too, But there is no finish line. You solve one problem, another one appears, you reach one goal, another one takes its place. That is not failure, that is life. So if you are waiting for everything to be perfect before you let yourself be at peace, you're going to wait forever. Because life is never going to be perfect. Something will always be uncertain. Something will always be unfinished. Something will always be missing. That is part of the deal. I heard someone once say, the journey is the destination. When I was younger, I thought that was just something people said to sound wise. Now I understand it. This is it, this moment, this day, this ordinary breath. This is your life, not later, not after the promotion, not after the debt is gone, not after everything finally lines up. Now, and if you cannot find some peace while you're on the road, you will not suddenly find it when you arrive. I know that because I have arrived at places I thought would save me. They didn't. Arrival does not feel the way imagination promises it will. So here is what I want you to carry with you. Stop waiting. Stop telling yourself, I'll be happy when. That lie steals years. I know because I let it steal decades from me, and all it gave me was delayed living. Whatever you believe you need in order to finally be okay, you probably do not need it nearly as much as you think. What you need is to stop fighting your own worth. What you need is to decide that right now, as you are in the middle of your unfinished life, you are already enough. Do you hear me? You are already enough. You do not have to prove it. You do not have to earn it. You do not have to exhaust yourself trying to deserve it. You only have to accept it. I'm 85 years old. I've made mistakes. I've chased the wrong things. I've wasted years I cannot get back. But if there is one thing I know now with certainty, it is this. What you are searching for is not somewhere out there in the distance. It is already within you. You just had to stop running long enough to notice it. If this meant something to you, share it with someone who is working themselves to the bone chasing something that will never make them whole. And tell me in the comments, what is your I'll be happy when? What are you still waiting for? And what would change if you decided today that you are already enough? Subscribe if you want more conversations like this.